Hi guys, this is a massively tamed down version of what I was originally going to post as part 2 of 2 on the back of yesterday's video. So I'm going to try and remain polite, but at the same time I have not only anger within me, and I probably have anger within me because every day at the moment I can't stand up for, I just can't stand up. I fall over. So I have anger that and this is on the back of the post that I asked you to look at first, which gave the Viktor Frankl warning between Viktor Frankl, who's an amazing guy who went through the Holocaust and then went on to develop his own type of therapy. Amazing man. But he always said there's some space that we should create for ourselves between action and reaction, or better still, he said, between stimuli and response. And it's not something I'm always good at, and this is why this is like the longest video I've ever produced for either Facebook or LinkedIn. And probably this is for the LinkedIn community more than the Facebook community. This is now my 5th attempt at creating this one video. You've seen an earlier one, and it's quite funny that the music playing in the background is the final countdown. It's probably apt. I love the suicide prevention community for personal reasons, because I lost quite a lot of people to suicide. Probably too many to suicide. One loss of a life is too much, we all know that. But aside from your professional roles or your volunteer roles, I probably lost considerably more. And yes, there's mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers, uncles and aunts in this community who have lost people. And their personal losses, you can never replace that grief. But since I've developed this disability, this disorder, functional neurological disorder, I've looked hard and fast at the suicide prevention community that I am a part of, and I always will be, same as the mental health community. But despite its huge advances, and I'm not going to take it away from anybody, Martin Gallier, Warrington Speak Up, the Jordan Legacy, the Baton of Hope, which obviously I have a personally vested interest in. But for a few weeks I've been looking up to you guys to lead the F&D community, the functional neurological disorder community, but I've suddenly realised we don't need your lead. I thought you were miles ahead, but you're actually not, because the community in F&D is actually stronger, in my belief, than the suicide prevention community. It is it had to become a community of introspection. It had to be a community of reflection, because there was no clinical advice, there was no suicidal advice. And if we go back to the late 70s, which I posted about the other week, Robin Williams taking on the role in Awakenings of a doctor who thought there was a better purpose for people who were ill and a different response, then I think, and I don't want allies, because I is back strong and purposeful again. My body is weak, but my brain has changed. Or no, according to MRI scans and brain scans, my brain hasn't changed because it doesn't show anything. But what I know now about the suicide prevention community, it's not about slapping each other on the back anymore. That day is gone. Because 10, 11, 12, a long time ago, years ago, we could be proud of ourselves. We could say, I've saved a life. But something fundamentally needs to change. And I'm tagging lots of people at the moment, but I'm not individually tagging you, and I might comment on a few specific posts that sort of wind me up, but unless you start looking inwards, we are not going to save lives. Maybe if you go back into my profile about in between the two videos, this one and the one before, you will see a thing where I'm sat at an image where I'm sat at a keyboard in front of a mirror, and I'm saying, look at me, because I have no position to point a finger at anybody, not in the slightest. Could I have done things different in the past with other people? Absolutely. Have I been on both sides of the mental health field? 100%. Those who know my history know that I've been held for my own safety many years ago, and along the way I got back into working in mental health, suicide prevention, working with DWP, whatever, caring for people in a way that I've not cared for people since my early 20s. But and none of you want to know that middle bit. But we need to look inwards, and there's a few people who have really reached in to me in the last few weeks. One person in particular, and this is the strangest thing, and I'm not going to name her because there's a few people who've reached in, but only one person said, are you feeling suicidal? Are you thinking about taking your own life? Have you got plans? And I don't. Do I want my pain and my aches to go away? Yeah, of course I do. Do I want to stop falling over? Yeah. Do I wish there was some type of opioid-based drug, which I refuse to take, that take this pain away? Yeah. But only one person actually asked me, despite all your assist courses and whatever you sell as part of this, what I believe is a new industry that pays mortgages, pays salaries, pays for kids' food, all these courses talk about ask the question, and guess what? None of you did, except for one person. 3 people who I have a relationship with. 3 people. My partner will probably watch this video. So 3 people who I have a common interest with have asked me how I am, and that's brilliant, and hopefully I've been able to respond. But only one person asked me if I'm suicidal. Now that's frightening, because I don't know what, and I'll definitely tag you in this. I've not been tagging you in any of this ex-Papyrus employee. I don't know what a 2-day assist course costs anymore. 240, 260 quid, whatever. But to trainers, to consultants, to professionals, even as far up as the prince, we're spending a hell of a lot of money to teach people not to ask the question that we're telling them on the course. Now that, to me, that's frightening. And yes, this is a long video, and I hope you watch it. So I'll just explain that last point again. One of the best courses I've ever been on in relation to suicide prevention, mental health, is Assist. And it's an uncomfortable course. It's an uncomfortable course because it really makes you examine your own feelings in relation to the rest of the world, in relation to family, friends, past history, emotions. But that course is really, really specific, and it says ask. I think there's a basic course, isn't there, from Living Works that's called Ask. And yet we've got 1 million trainers, loads of consultants, happy to go to Parliament, happy to even go to Buckingham Palace or wherever for tea parties. And guess what? You can't even ask it yourselves because you are so tired, fatigued, that, and this is definitely not the video that I was going to post yesterday, because my compassion is grown, and that's Viktor Frankl's space between stimuli and response. It is back, and believe me, if any of you knew me properly, then there was never space. There was never space between stimuli and response, because things just needed to be done. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I've waited 4 days for this video, and I really do hope you watch it. I'm going to play it back in a minute. But there's 3 things that I don't think, as professionals working in this field, that we do enough, and that is, well, a few things actually, but we talk about burnout, and burnout is very real. Not I'm tired, I need a break, I need to go to Italy or whatever. That's just tiredness, that's life. There is clinical burnout, and I would suggest, and it is a suggestion, that there's more people working in the suicide prevention field at the moment who, because they're reliant on their salary, their wage, whatever the CIC or the charity gives them to go out and speak and deliver these courses, they're ignoring the fact that they are clinically burnt out. The second thing, so aside from burnout and true clinical burnout, I think there's a second thing that we don't fully appreciate, and that is compassion fatigue. Because with compassion fatigue, what we actually do is we give more of ourselves than is physically possible. You know, at one time I could actually probably quote from a totally different field the speed at which we interpret words and the speed at which we can speak. And yeah, there used to be some old stuff around God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so you can speak more. But the truth is, with compassion fatigue, in my belief, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a clinician, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist or whatever, compassion fatigue starts with our desire to do good. Sometimes it's informed by pain, the loss of people. I'll be honest, probably a lot of, and it's been a big discussion with my partner, a lot of my giving has been around, yeah, I just want to do good. But a lot of my compassion fatigue developed from the fact that I knew it was the right thing. It wasn't payback. It wasn't like in a casino where you put your money on red or black or green and you get something back from it. It was just the right thing. So burnout within the suicide prevention field is real. Clinical burnout is real. The second thing is compassion fatigue. And then, and I don't hear anyone speaking about this anymore, and it scares me a little bit. Vicarious trauma. Every day we pick up a phone, we sit next to someone on a bench, we jump on a Zoom call or a Teams call, then there's a potential for us to get further damaged. And vicarious trauma is, to me, it's about reigniting previous traumas. And I've carried some heavy rucksacks. If you've read my post in the last couple of weeks, I've carried some pretty hefty rucksacks in a few different places in the world. Places that have even made me have tattoos that say I believe in me and I believe in you. But vicarious trauma can suddenly explode, and this is a totally different video than I was going to record, and it's way longer than I was going to record, so I don't even know how. I'll have to put a link in. For all of you working in the suicide prevention field, for all of you working in the mental health field, for all of you who've been bereaved or are working with people who are bereaved, you genuinely have to look after yourselves, because sometimes you can make such crazy decisions that they will not outlive the trauma you're already experiencing, but they will equal it. Right, that's the end. That's 20 minutes. If I work in the suicide prevention industry, I can go on stage and I can get myself at least 600 quid for just sharing that knowledge and that wisdom or that lived experience. I have no idea how to share this with you, but it's a totally different video than the one I was going to send, and I'm glad I waited. And I wish you all the best, all of you. Even if I've been a bit harsh on some of my posts, then this isn't harsh. This is love. Namaste, my dear friends. The God in me meets the God in you.